the companies and did problems around those companies. So I'm not going to sit up here and pretend to like be an expert at LeetCode and know how to do every single problem. I really don't. There's too many. Like the return on investment ain't there for me, but it's there for me to study particularly or specifically for these interviews that I'm doing. And so that's what helped me save time. That's what helped me get offers in like 3 months. I was able to get like real nice offers. And so by just like, and that's what Algo Monster will do. Like it kind of focuses your learning. So you don't, because I know people get on here and they talk about they did 300 problems, they did 1,000 LeetCode problems, and they still can't get a job. I just hate to see people go through that. And it's like, that's really not the right way to do it. Or I'll see people say, man, I tried to do an easy problem and I got stuck on it for 2 hours one night and that's all I did. Like, no. If you can't do an easy problem in 15 minutes, look up the answer. And then redo it. And then come back to it a week. Write a note. Make you a spreadsheet. Write a note of it. And come back to it in like a week or a couple days. And then try to do it again from memory. But like, don't spend more than 15 minutes on an easy problem without looking up the answer. Don't spend more than 30 minutes on a medium problem without looking up the answer. And don't spend more than 45 minutes on a hard problem without looking up the answer. And why I'm saying that is the interviews. The interviews are only going to be an hour long. So a hard problem, there's some interviews where a hard problem will take 45 minutes. You got to start training yourself to work in these time frames. And if like you can't get the answer in that time frame, just mark it as a failure. It's never a failure, it's progress. And just mark it as like, hey, I couldn't get that one. I'm gonna try to look up the answer and I'm gonna try to come back and do it later from my own mind. But if you get to the point, you gotta be able to do these problems fast. And so that's kind of the unfortunate part of interviews, is that they're so time crunched. Like if they give you an easy problem, they're not gonna just give you the easy and then just go on your day. They're probably gonna ask follow-ups or whatever. So you need to be able to do it in like 15 minutes. And so, yeah, for the most part. Because I mean, I was in one interview, the man asked 3 problems in the interview. And I had to do each of them in like 15 minutes, basically, for Amazon. And so, yeah, it was just like, it was crazy. But it's like, I got out of it. I'm like, dang, man, I can't believe I did. It's like unbelievable sometimes. I'm like, I can't believe I did that. Because the mental pressure of these interviews can be so crazy. Like after you done studied for 3 months and you finally get to that day to do that interview, it's a mental grind, man. It's hard, man. Like you could do all this prep and the nervousness sets in. And so one thing I always say is start doing interviews sooner than later. Like even before you think you're quite ready, like just take the pressure off of trying to pass it, but just get yourself comfortable in interview. Because I know a lot of smart people that can do these problems way better than me, but they get really nervous in the interview. They shut down. They lose everything. Like, and me, for some reason, I'm nervous before the interview, but when I get in the interview, I'm fine. Like I don't have any nerves. I could be bombing a problem and just my heart's not beating. I'm just happy. I'm like, damn, I just effed this one up. But hey, I nothing else I could do. But it's like before the interview is my problem. But once I get in the interview, I'm fine. But like I know I interview people sometime and I hear horror stories. I literally will be sitting there with somebody. I'll talk to them to the start of the interview, and then I'll say, yeah, I have a coding challenge for you. This is gonna be the last part of the interview, and I can just see. I seen somebody's face turn red. I seen somebody literally just shut down and just say, hey, I just can't do it, man. I just can't do the problem, and it's nothing I can do. You know what I mean? Like I can be the nicest guy in the world and try to pass them along, but like then I'll get fired. You know what I'm saying? So I can't just pass people along just for the kindness of my heart. Like if you shut down in an interview, it's nothing I can do. Now you don't have to get 100% right, you know what I mean? But you at least got to try. But like I can tell some people get so nervous that they literally just shut down, or they just forget things, like easy things. And so you really do. It depends. Everybody's different, so it just depends on where you're at. But if you know you get super nervous, you got to start building a confidence. And even if you don't get nervous, just building the confidence of how somebody said in here, you need to be able to talk out loud in the interviews. And so building up that skill, because a lot of people, some people, they're really smart, but what they do is they'll get to this thing, start coding, and they'll just start typing. start typing. They put their head down, start typing. And if you get through that problem and you didn't say anything to that interviewer, like, you might fail. And even if you get the problem right, you still might fail. Because they want to know your thought process. They want to know how you problem solve. They want to know that you can work with other developers and you can explain yourself technically to other people. And they want to know how you think of the solution. If they just think you just memorized it from LeetCode, like, because sometimes you'll come to a problem that you've seen, and then you just have it memorized, and so you just start doing it, and they're gonna just be like, okay, I'm gonna ask him something harder, because like, he just memorized this from LeetCode. He ain't even thinking about what he's doing. He's just typing. He's not even talking to me. So like, avoid doing that. Like, if you get lucky, don't treat it like you got lucky. Treat it like you're going through it for the first time, even though you have it memorized. Like, hey, this is what I'm thinking. If you got it memorized, then you should know. You shouldn't just have it blindly memorized. You should know what the tricks are to that. Not the tricks, but you should know what the foundation is to that problem and be able to talk about it very confidently at that point. Be able to say, this is why this solution will work. This is why this solution probably is not good. And so, yeah, somebody said user, Hakeem, I think he said he was freaking out. Yeah, man, I've been in interviews early on where I was dying. But once I did a bunch of them, then I started getting more comfortable. And I started just saying to myself that, like, as long as I properly prepared, then when I get in that interview, that's it, man. Whatever happens, happens. Whatever I know, I know. Whatever I don't know, I don't know. And that's how I'm going to leave it. Like, I try to prep my best. The only time I feel bad is if I get in an interview and I feel like I didn't prep enough. Now, if they hit me with, like, sometimes they come with questions that's just stupid stuff that ain't nobody ever came up with before. I don't feel bad about that. It's just like, there's no way I could have prepped for that. But like, if it's something that I said that somebody kept telling me over and over and I knew I needed to study that, but I went to go play Xbox instead, it's like, that's when I feel bad. You know what I'm saying? So, anyway. Oh yeah, system design interviews. I'm not actively interviewing right now, but like, system design interviews, you know what? That's a good idea. I think I'm gonna come on here and do a system design interview one day, or system design or whatever. Cause I actually got can I open this up without y'all seeing it? I don't want y'all to see everything, my personal files and stuff, but I got like I think. Can kind of see this. I actually made this in an interview. Like, it looks ugly, but like, this is the interview. So you're like moving really fast and explaining stuff. But like, I explained, oh shoot, I didn't mean to show that. I explained this. I drew this out and explained it. This was something I had did in real life, but I explained it to the interview as a system design interview. And so you basically just drawing boxes, and then you explain to them what each piece of the system does. And you need to gather the requirements first. Like, you need to ask them questions of what the system should be able to do, what the system should be able to handle, what kind of scale we're dealing with, what features does it need. And then you need to build out your system to handle those features and requirements, and ask questions along the way and explain yourself along the way, what each part of your system does and why. And they will ask follow-up questions. And so do not put something on here that you do not know nothing about. Like, you try to put a Redis cache on here or something and you don't know what it is, then just don't put it on there. But yeah, so I might jump on here and explain that system design thing. I had stole that one from an interview I was doing. I wish I would have stole all of them from all the interviews I did, because the system design things, it's kind of it's a skill and it's an art at the same time. Like, it's more open-ended than the LeetCode questions are, but at the same time, it's not open-ended. So they're always looking for something really specific, or they're always looking for specific approaches, I guess, and specific things for you to address. But I guess it's not super specific. So I'm about to lose my voice. So it's 12 o'clock here. I think I've been on here like 2 hours. So yeah, I appreciate y'all jumping on here. These interviews don't seem hard. Yeah, I will say a lot of people trying to put a lot on the system. My bad, I had to answer that. But like, a lot of people put a lot on the system design interviews. They're, to me, easier than the coding challenges for me, because I have been in the industry for 10 years. And so like a lot of the stuff they asking is very like simple versions of stuff that I built in real life. It's like it's simple, so it's like not hard for me. But for somebody that don't have real life experience, it can be extremely hard because like you're gonna start talking about stuff that you don't know, and then the interviewer's gonna start asking about details that you could really only know from either deep study or actually working a job. And working a job, there's just nothing. Real experience helps memory set in way better than studying, and like not knowing what people are actually really doing on a job, like versus what is put in a book. You know what I mean? It's just sometimes it's a little easy. It's kind of easy for an interviewer to tell when you just kind of like regurgitating versus like I really do this stuff in the system design part of it. So anyway, yeah, I'm about to jump over here because I know people jumping off. So I appreciate y'all, man. Have a good night. Thanks for joining. Follow me, follow each other, connect with each other, DM each other, DM me if you have any questions about your career, tech, life, whatever, coding. I'm on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, shoot, everywhere. So I go live every Friday, or I try to. So hey, appreciate you guys, and thanks for the feedback. Somebody said they loved it, so I having a good time too. So thanks y'all. See y'all in the next live or video or whatever. So see y'all later.